Hi everyone, today in this video we're gonna discuss a bit what I think it should be something that should be more talked. That is the paper that we passing so much screen time in our day-to-day life, how this influence our ability to connect with other ones and how this can be impactful for our success in our life. So I would say that the majority of the people they tend to like to establish as their main goals in their life, having a professional job which they got paid well for what they do, probably having a good family with kids, having good friends, and we're gonna see that in Pro League as well gonna help having health. And you're gonna see that two of these three main objectives that people have, we require the ability to establish connections with other ones, and not establishing at first type is as well managing in order to remain them in the long term. And this requires ability to have social skills to manage so people that have different needs which so we can create attractions. Some people like other do something, the other one, and by being in duo they have to agree in the majority of the things. So how they manage this wanting of someone and this lack of willingness by the other one. So we're probably in a era that we're gonna have to be able to manage this type of connections even more, because nowadays we're trying to be even more connected because we got so globalized that we need to what is best, for example, at macro level. Now this talking more about governments, they need to connect with other potencies that produce some type of things that they are better, some resources that they have comparative advantages in comparison with other country that they are more rich in other resources. So it has a whole ability to connect. And even if we talk about then it's more easier to have connections because we have social media, we have phones that we're so able to connect with people from all the parts of the world. It's important to be to have in count that not just something to be done has to be easy, it's as well something that will have a lack of this lack of being comfortable. If something is has a lack of being comfortable, so it's not comfortable to us, it's something that as well pays the paper and can be so have a whole positive effect of being easy to do the action. So what's all the point of this initial of this video is that probably we're in a time that we, by not being and not having a lot of connections, real connections, human to human in present, when in our lives, we're having this lack of ability to have the perception about body language, the perception about the emotions of other ones. Empathy as well can be something that starts to cutting off because connections in social life and in social media is different than it is in the reality. And people in social media have different behaviors. They tend to be more have less fear, to be they have more hateful towards the other ones. They don't have like too much encounter the empathy. And the reality is that people sometimes they fall in the illusion of that they are like prone and they're able to deal with what happens in reality just by having connections and living with people in social media. It's different. People are different. People act different in different scenarios, in different environments. People have this plasticity. And so this lack of skill in real life, that's where probably the majority of the most important things happens. These connections between governments, the in work, probably if you have to work presential, it's probably so where the things more happen. Social connections, the way that our brain was made, it's really important. I'm not downplaying and I'm not saying that people should not have connections in these platforms with these phones, but we have to see and we have to look for the fundamentals. Our brain was made to have connections in real life, to touching, to to feeling the other one, to understand their body language. And the reality is that one of the type of anxiety that we come is coming from fear, and fear one of the fears that people seem to have is to feel loneliness. And sometimes we get the illusion that we don't feeling it and will not feeling it when we're just connecting and we have social media and can talk with other ones. But it's not the same. It's not, we cannot give a hug, I cannot give like a kiss. It's different. Our brain was not made to then to was not made to not having social connection in the real life, and it's something that it's unconscious. It is not depending if someone likes more to have connection with other one, is more like social effective, or if other one is not. It doesn't have just in count this feature. Is having count that we naturally were made to have connections, because in our ancestors they have like they rely in the connections that they got in tribe to hunt, and they naturally, if they don't have a tribe, if they don't tend to connect with other ones, they tend to be more prone to fear because they have like a less probability to survive. And so we have this need. What I should say, and what's the point, and it's like a counsel that I try to do it, is that don't downplay the importance that is having human connection in reality, even if you have connections in social medias, that you talk with people in social medias, doesn't downplay the good effect that they have in your hormones of well-being. Having not too much, it doesn't need too much, because if you look for the past, that how our brain was configured and was modulated to work, we not have too much people in our tribes. It's like 10 people that we really rely, and it has been something that happens in reality. What's something that happens today? Probably we deal with a lot of people, much more than we have dealt in the past. But we have the lack of really deep relationships that are made when you do things that are important for our lives, as people in the back were done. They were waiting, hunting in the same type of for the same objective, and it's essential for survive because they need to get feed with their nutritional needs. And this lack of deep, we're made to have some type of this deep connection, that people that I really think that I rely, because they are like the ones that if something bad happens to me, are people that really help me, and not people that I know, but probably I don't have a deep connection enough to people make a sacrifice for themselves to help me. And this something is good. It's something that really helps for people that have anxiety, people that kind of gets 2, 3, 5, 4 people that they really rely, people that are like the deep core, which, so it's something that doesn't create a pressure to always seeking for human approval, whatever we are in a scarce, much more scarce times. That is when you have connection, that we feel that we have this need to have approval of the other ones, because we have the lack of connection, and so we are seeking for that, and we have to enjoy at any coast, whatever it is, the time that I get these scarce moments of connections in real life, in comparison with the much more time that we have in these platforms, in the screen. So I would say that much more today is having soft skills to deal with a lot of peoples, with a lot of connections, but doesn't spending too much time into trying to make them happy, because the reality is that we cannot. This creates pressure and anxiety, and is much more useful to have some type 4-3 that you really right, that you really do like. Sometimes you sacrifice some things to make it helping, and so it can establish as a social contract. It obviously doesn't have to be that much thing. It can be something more natural, but really see that we have these really connection, that people that are like, it's active, people that can help when things goes bad for you, helps you your with anxiety, helps you to not be someone that are always approving and seeking and to spending too much time looking for people that don't have like probably the potential to be someone that can be like a good friend for you. We are already, we have the some type of look that probably a lot of time this type of deep core are made by our elements of our family that we really rely. But we're gonna see that even that if you don't have like a lot of cousins, even cousins is something that as well, by not living in your house, you not have, sometimes you don't have that much of connection. Probably if you're not someone that have too much type of brothers, probably people of your life are things that are in different generations, so it's not the same type of connection. There are people that's not gonna make a company for all your life. There are people that probably are more older than you, and so have the ability to manage people that probably gonna make a company during your lifetime. And that's why one of the things benefits of having marriage, and even today less we're seeing it more as one-time type of connections, relationships, whatever it is, that is a tendency now that we're facing in comparison with the tendency of having a marriage in nowadays, is another component that describes so this lack of deep connection that we see today, and is described by having connection by a lot by with and having so connections with a lot of people, but not deep, not getting deep with just like neither one or two we have the ability to do it. And that's something that we have to take care about it, because it's something that helps and make us have a better way to deal with our anxiety problems, having so something that makes us more happy because our brain is made to do it, and something that helps me to be and not always seeking for approval for other ones, wherever I'm in any type of human social connection that I'm present in. So I hope this video makes you that you probably have to work in your social connections, not too much time, but give it a time to think that if you have this type of deep circle, deep core in your life, that you can say there are real people that you feel that like you in reality, not just by you being something that is useful for them. So see you in the next one.